Okay, today is January the 13th, 2019, and right now at 9:50 p.m., we have a temperature of 47 degrees here in the foothills of Los Angeles. The relative humidity is 74%. That's on the rise. We have a dew point of 39 degrees, and the barometer is up slightly at 29.91. So the barometer is rising, amazingly enough, as we have a low pressure system moving in to Southern California. We'll take a look at the surface analysis map here in a second, but we can see a right angle imprint, which has, this is a satellite generated imprint here. This is heated air, and the reason that these are, the reason this is done is that they are separating, the weather controllers are separating the frontal system from this vortex. And I have a playlist on this channel. If you scroll down, there is a one of the categories there is right angle imprints on these weather systems. So take a look at that. Right here we see another example of this, a giant right angle. This is several hundred miles long right here, this one edge. And what they've done here is they have actually separated the moisture field, the frontal system, from this vortex. And so this is now passing right over us, this dark area. The corner of that right angle is actually passing right over Southern California. We can see that right here, and our barometers are rising, so that makes sense. But well, this is high pressure. They've installed high pressure. In fact, what we should be having is lower pressure, because we have a vortex approaching, a very large weather system. This is a gale force system. We can take a look at the this is the surface analysis map right here. We have a gale right here. There's actually two lows in this big swirling mass moving towards Southern California right down here. One of these is a 996 millibar low right there. This is indicated as a gale. And we have a second low, 1007 millibar. And these will probably merge together, but the arrow is pointing right towards California. You see an occluded front up here. That's the satellite transmitter forcing heat into the low pressure system, and that's what's creating the right angle down here on this low. There is a slight amount of purple indicated here, but this is not accurately depicting what we're seeing on the satellite map. So let's go back and look again at what's actually happening here. We have a right angle imprint. Once again, this is generated by satellite transmitters, and this is how they weaken these storm systems. You see that right angle right here firming up, and that has separated the frontal system from the vortex, the center of that low. Here's the water vapor map. Once again, we see that happening. We see this all the time. Lately, the weather controllers have been very careful about generating very large right angles, but tonight it looks like they don't care. They're going to get us some rain, and so we'll overlook this for the time being, but nonetheless, it's weather manipulation. So we've got the jet stream flowing right down towards this low. Let's go ahead and look at the jet stream map here right now. We can see the pattern. We've got a jet stream flow flowing right towards that low pressure vortex, as it should. But look what's happening here. The high speed flow is just sort of dead ending right here. We have high speed flow right about here, and that's where the manipulation is occurring. That's where we see that big giant right angle. So there is manipulation going on. Let's go back to the map and look at it again. And we can see that the jet stream is being disrupted as it flows towards the vortex. That's just what should be happening. A higher pressure always flows towards lower pressure, and that's what we're seeing right here. So tomorrow we have rain scheduled. So for now we see the chemtrail haze right over the. Let's look at the Modus Today map first. Right now we can see why we're not having rain. We have moisture moving in. Let's look quickly here. We've got, this is the water vapor map for the western U.S. We should be having rain right now all day as this moisture moves in. Here is the southwest map. Those are all reloading. Let's give it a second here. We have moisture moving in right here, and so we should be having rain today, but that's not happening. Why not? Well, we've got the heavy aerosol spring. Let's look at the MODIS today for today. This is January the 13th, and this is the MODIS today map. We can see a fresh trail right here. These maps are typically posted about noontime here on the west coast. This is a color satellite map showing the Southern California area. Here's Los Angeles area right here, Orange County down here, and Ventura up here. We can see the gray chemtrail aerosols right here. We've got natural clouds beneath the chemtrail haze. We can see the brilliant white scattered around as this frontal system tries to move in, but they've got it so they've got it blanketed. The weather controllers have blanketed this weather system. These jets, these specially equipped jets, have sprayed these aerosols over the top of this incoming moisture field, and that has delayed the rain for the time being until tomorrow when it is officially scheduled. So we've got LA right here. We can see these gray, sort of wispy looking clouds. They are not clouds. Those are chemical aerosols, chemtrails, as most people have heard and know them by, but these are basically a chemical ash mixture which caps the upper atmosphere and prevents the lift. And so we cannot have precipitation without lift. We must have moisture in the atmosphere, number one, moisture in the atmosphere, number two, lift in the atmosphere. So we've got a lot of this chemical haze sprayed, and that has delayed the rain event for today. So as I say, it should be raining today based on the pattern, but the high pressure being installed right on top, adjacent to this vortex, to separate this giant frontal system, that is manipulating the barometric pressure currently. We're watching the barometer actually rise. Just a half hour ago, it was 29.95, or rather about an hour ago. Once again, here's the western U.S. water vapor loop. We see high pressure installed right over the Oregon and Washington area. High pressure, we see that clockwise rotation, and that is helping to steer this weather system right down into Southern California. So we're expecting some rain tomorrow, and then later in the week, we've got rain scheduled Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We can see this jet stream just dead ending right about here. Some of that's winding into the vortex. They haven't completely killed this thing off, so we are going to get rain. Let's go look at the pressure maps here real quick. We have the surface pressure map, and we can see there is no high pressure right off of California. Normally we see a high pressure area like right here, for example, over the Colorado and Idaho and Utah area. You see that high parked here all winter long, but right now we have a closed low at the surface level, and that's going to move in. There's nothing blocking that. So that's all good news. So this is the surface map. Let's look at the 500 millibar map. We see there's nothing blocking this closed low moving in. So we've got a surface low. We've got a 500 millibar closed low right here. And we have a closed low at the 300 millibar level right here. All going to move in and dump some rain. That's all good news. The IntelliCast Doppler map, we'll go ahead and load this up, come back to it. Meantime, we see this jet stream moving down. Some of that is winding back into that vortex. The rest of it is running into this blockade, which is preventing, we've got this moisture field that's been separated. We can see the right angle there. Everything is just dead ending and evaporating right about here, where that artificial high pressure has been installed. There's actually two lows here. We can see them both spinning counterclockwise. Let's take a look next at the, we saw the surface analysis map. Let's look at the swell report. We can see the these lows are generating 25-foot swells. Those are going to move in and generate some very high surf along the entire California coast, mainly in central and northern California. So there that is. Let's move back to the, we've seen pretty much everything. Let's look at the Doppler map and zoom in. You see the rain offshore of California. So that's all going to be moving in. Maybe by early tomorrow morning, around 1 or 2, 3 in the morning, we'll see this move in. But we've got that right angle imprint right over LA, right over Southern California. That's going to blockade the rain. Let's go back and take another look at what's actually happening here. So we've got the chemtrail aerosols delaying the rain as well. And we have this manipulation right here. And that's why the barometric pressure is all squirrely. It's actually rising. This is a low pressure system. When low pressures arrive and approach, the barometer should be going down, not up. So if you've got a barometer, keep an eye on that. This is a low pressure system. You see everything is moving towards this low. It's not completely blocked. See, so they've got moisture. Moisture is being allowed to move into this vortex and continue to feed that weather system. Normally these things are completely blocked, and you have a dry low that just moves right over California. And once it passes over California, they pull the transmitter off, it rebuilds, and the rest of the country gets weather, and we don't get anything. But today is a different day. So there it is. Let's look next at some photographs I took on the 12th of January. This is the rain system that moved in on Saturday and dumped 11/16 of an inch of rain in the foothills. We can see there was a lot of yellow and red right offshore. This was taken at 12:36 a.m. Next one here was taken at 12:38 a.m. I'm going to push this camera in a little bit, get a little close up there. So we can see at Ojai, we've got a WSR88D NexRad transmitter chopping up the rain pattern in the Ojai area. We can see the scatter pattern, the evaporation pattern right here from the, if you triangulate all these points, they lead right here to Ojai. Now notice also, this was very strange, this front, this sat parked and moved very, very, very slowly towards the inland areas of Southern California. But we notice that we've got a little bit of red right over Santa Barbara. They had some heavy rain. Let's take a look at some of these other ones here. This screenshot was taken at 12:41 a.m. We see all this yellow and red moving right towards the burn areas of Malibu, Thousand Oaks, Agoura Hills, and so forth. Okay, let's take a look next at the next one. This was taken at 12:42. This screenshot, we can see the yellow patches moving into the burn areas. We see that giant front that was just pretty much stationary. Everything just sat, and I was watching the Doppler, and this sat here stationary for quite a long time. And the reason for that is that there was a storm, not really a storm, but a low pressure system that was generating weather over New Mexico and Arizona that was moving slowly to the east. So in order to maintain the separation between this incoming system and that low pressure system over New Mexico and or rather Arizona and the Utah area, this was there was high pressure basically separating this incoming system with that low pressure moving to the east over Arizona and Utah. Next picture is taken at 12:42. Let's take a look at the next one. And we see that front still there. We see the Malibu area, the red there. I'm going to have to speed this up. Look at that. Amazing. Look at the red over Malibu right here. Okay, we're going to have to wrap this up real soon. Malibu, look at the red over the burn areas here. Just amazing. Look at that. This was taken at 12:59 a.m. This was taken at, I don't have a timestamp. Okay, we're going to have to wrap it up real soon. Look at this. Amazing. Okay, that's it.